So in this video I show you the second layout of my Northern Europe trip travel scrapbook album, and I show you in more detail how I did all the stamping, the little details, and it's even got an interactive element to hide my journaling. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, this is Steffi from Little Steffi Big World, and this is the second layout that I'm doing for my Northern Europe trip travel scrapbook album. And this is a picture of my daughter sleeping in the train. After 5 hours she finally fell asleep just half an hour before we had to get up, and we arrived in Hamburg in the north of Germany. And this is basically my title, Please Do Not Disturb. This is from the door hanger that you get, for your hotel room that you can put on the door. And it broke. I think my daughter played with it, so I kept it. And there's also a little brochure of the hotel that we stayed in, a business card. And I'm not boring you with how I chose the paper from the 400 sheets of paper that I have. So I have this light blue as a background, I have this dark blue with the feathers that I want to do as a framing for all the picture and the travel memorabilia, and I have this stripes within the pack of paper. So I'm cutting out with my guillotine 2 of the stripes that I want to use in the layout, and I have this red one with the dots that I want to use to do the framing of the picture and the journaling. And the journaling is going to go on one of the crafting paper that I had in my stash. So now I'm just measuring with my ruler and the photo as a guidance on where I want to cut the papers. So the light blue background is already cut to size because the album set on the packaging it's 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, but actually it's not. It's only 29 centimeters high, and because of the holes, because it's a ring album, it's I only have 28 centimeters of width to play with. So I'm putting that yellow stripe there at the bottom, and then I'm putting the picture there, and just deciding again by measuring out where I want to cut the red paper. And then once I've cut that, I'm gonna also measure where and how I'm gonna cut this brown cardstock with the lines on it, and it's got a little bit of pattern on it as well. So I'm just saying which side I want to use, if I want to use the upper part of it or the lower one, and I'm deciding I'm going to use the upper side and cutting that down to like a little bit of a journaling card. And in between the picture and that journaling, that cardstock, that's where the leaflet, this little leaflet that you can fold out with informations of the hotel is gonna go. So it's gonna hide like the complete journaling, because I struggle with my handwriting. So I try either to do as less journaling as possible on my layout, or I'm trying to hide it. I was thinking I could do maybe some more typing or using stamps to write the stories, but I need to write quite a little bit of things that I'm just feeling like the story needs to be told, that it took so long for my daughter to fall asleep, and then just half an hour later we had to wake her up, or while getting off the train she woke up, and then we walked all the way from the main station in Hamburg to our hotel, which was still like I think 2 kilometers or something in the middle of the night. And how scared we were, and how we arrived at the hotel, and there was a bunch of partying people. So I'm trying to decide how to do my title, and I'm cutting it down and cutting it down even more. In the end I have cut down the words please and then do not disturb, just to make the point of don't do that. Now I have this green paper with this nice pattern, which I think it's gonna give this whole bluish and darker color pattern papers and the darker colors of the leaflet a little bit more of an accent, and I'm using my Artemio Tech Punch, and I'm punching it at 2.5 inches. and I've cut it down to the size that I want to use it. And I'm also using the other stripe of that at the top of the layout, so you're going to find that green at the top left and at the bottom right. So I'm trying to do a little bit of a flow in this layout. I'm not using a sketch this time because there are no sketches as far as I know out there that include, okay, this is where the photo goes and this is where the memorabilia goes, so I always have to figure this out somewhere else. Now I'm also using the hole punch from We Are Memories Keepers to do a little, yeah, how do you say, this kind of eyelet for the tag. And I also have these colored baker twines from Craft Sensations. I've got 2 packs. One is with, that you can see here, that's got all the colors, red, blue, pink, green and purple. And I've got another one that's called black and brown and beige and white. And I use them throughout the whole album quite a bit, so I really like that. Now I'm deciding what stamps I'm going to be using, and at first I'm thinking I'm going for the Going Places stamp set of Simple Stories again, but then I'm deciding on using this Dovecraft paper posies stamp set. So I'm going for the stamp that says love, and I'm thinking of, okay, that's the right size for the tag. And as I've said in my other video about the first layout of this album, I'm using some of these stamps for the first time, and also this ink pad there, this black ink pad, it's a little bit older and it's not very good, so I'm inking that stamp and I'm about to stamp it directly on the tag, and then I'm thinking, no, I need to test that first. So I'm testing it first on a little scrap paper first and thinking, okay, that looks good, so I'm going ahead and stamping it right there onto the tag. I'm actually buying a new better black ink pad later on. So now I'm just gluing everything down. I'm just, you know, not showing you how I'm gluing down everything here, except for the title. I've put some little foam dots behind that. It's just like 1 millimeter high because I don't want to make this book too thick, but I also wanted to have a little bit of dimension. It's just, you know, popping up a tiny little bit of the layout. So it's just, I'm trying to give that title a little bit more of an importance through that as well. It's just 1 millimeter. So here you can see the leaflet, so it folds to the other side. I've used washi tape to do this kind of flip. I have loads of washi tape, so I have enough to do so many flaps. And I'm just using my travel journal to figure out, okay, which date was it. So we arrived past midnight, so I have put the other date. What I also do throughout the whole album, I'm not just punching the date, stamping it once, but 3 times. And I'm also doing it sometimes on some layouts in different places. So I put the same date in different places on the same layout, and always, or most of the time, stamping it 3 times. So there's a very, very clear and very dark date, and then it's a little bit fading around as well. So now I want to use this banner with the bows on it of this stamp set from Dovecraft, and I'm just trying to decide where it should go, and I'm going to punch it on a piece of paper. And then I'm fussy cutting around it. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting, but I also don't hate it, and I just told myself this way I don't have to buy so many embellishments for this project. And it's also keeping the layout very, very flat because I'm using very, very thin paper. This is like normal paper size, like 80 gram per square meter, something like that. It's not heavy cardstock or anything like that. So this way, by stamping and fussy cutting, I have loads of embellishments. I can do my own embellishments in any colors that I have, that I want. I just need fussy cut. And a banner, for example, it's not that hard to fussy cut, so it's not too bad. But throughout the process, I'm doing 140 layouts for this whole album. I'm getting quite good at it, actually. So now I don't mind doing this stamping and fussy cutting. But at first it was like, okay, I'm just doing this one here, and on the first layout I did like 3 or 4, which was still a very, very easy pattern to cut out. Now I'm stamping this heart at the top, and also once I've stamped a really, really dark image there's still some ink on the stamp, so I'm deciding, I'm going to use that as well, so that's going to go on the bottom right again. So just trying to do this little kind of flow from the top left across the picture and the journaling to the bottom right. Now I'm putting all my journaling there in the spot, using my travel journal as a guide, like when did we arrive, how long did it take us to get there, and how we arrived at this partying hotel and how it felt and everything. So yeah, there's quite a bit of journaling on this second page. And at the very, very end, I mean, like, once I had almost all the 140 layouts, I had 139 layouts finished. I got all of these layouts, I've sorted them in by color actually, went to my friend because she's got a sewing machine and she does scrapbooking as well, so she uses her sewing machine sometimes to stitch on paper. So I went and did some sewing on my scrapbooks at the very, very end, and it was such a good experience and it was such a good time with my friend. Over 2 days I had more than 10 hours of sewing on these layouts, and yeah, that was just something totally new for me, and it turned out so nice. So I hope you enjoyed this, because there's gonna be just a few more layouts from this album that I want to show you how I did them, and maybe this helps you in doing your own scrapbooks and just try something new. Just go for it. Okay, so thank you all for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more travel scrapbooking, and enjoy your day. Stay safe and scrapbook on. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye bye.